The definition of a hero. Hero, 2 syllables, and pronounced as hero. A person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Now, what is my personal definition of a hero? A hero is someone who is kind and helpful and will put aside their own time to help others. A hero is someone who helps someone in a big way, not like, let's say, just helping a friend move. A hero is someone who, if a friend is struggling with a mental health issue, they go out of their way to make sure that they get the help that they need or help them themselves to better them. A hero is someone who saves a life. A hero is somebody who's brave, who's willing to take a big step and bold moves to do what's right. A hero is somebody who puts aside their own fears just to help others. For example, let's say my best friend is trapped in a room and it's full of daddy long legs and cockroaches and disgusting things that I'm scared of. Maybe there's a clown in the corner looking at me, laughing at me. Maybe there's dolls pinned to the wall. And my friend, their life is at risk. If I was a hero, and I try to be a hero, so if my friend's life was in danger and all my fears were in the room that they were in, I would go into that room. I would probably scream, but I would still try to help them. I'd try. And that is something very heroic to do. So that is basically my definition of a hero: a kind-hearted, brave, fearless person who puts away their own time to help others, who cares about others more than themselves, will make sure that the person gets the help that they need, and just be a good person who betters the world and will better the world as much as they can, no matter what. And that is my personal definition of a hero. I've concluded that there's 3 types of heroes, which I now will discuss. The first type of hero I will be discussing is the pop culture / stereotypical heroes. Popularized by comics, these are type of heroes that usually come from fiction. They are a big part of pop culture that is recognized worldwide. They are characters that depict a person who will risk their own lives for their dedication to protect humanity. And no matter how extreme the outcome may be, they usually come out squeaky clean. Whether they have superpowers or possess master martial arts skills, they are always there to save the day and get the girl. Unfortunately, with their influence, many set extremely high expectations for real-life heroes, sometimes getting so absorbed into a stereotype that they don't even think anything of other real-life heroes. The next type of hero I'll be discussing is the physical / single act of bravery heroes. These are heroes of the workforce and regular civilians who, in real life now, risk their own lives to aid others in extreme situations. These are people whom have saved others from events that would have caused trauma, injury, and/or death. They don't wear capes, at least majority of them don't, and some gain major recognition for their heroic actions, through medal ceremonies to a breaking news report. These heroes can get injured severely because of their acts. Some getting severe bronchitis from saving someone from a burning building, others getting stabbed and/or shot to stop a killer. These heroes range in their physical acts of bravery. Unfortunately, on the darker note, many heroes are successful at saving others, but not themselves. Although on the lighter note, these are courageous people who do some good in the world. Maybe one day you'll be saved by an act of bravery, or maybe you'll be brave and save somebody else. The third type of hero I'll be discussing are the heroes of generosity. These are heroes who do not risk their own lives, but do help those who need it in various ways. These heroes are all about being generous, kind, and giving to the community. Whether it be a big donation to charity or making sure the poor are fed, they will try to do what they can to make those in need have a better life. Some of these people gain recognition as peacekeepers or saviors, receiving Nobel Prizes and thank yous and walking on the sidewalk. Unfortunately, these heroes, depending on how they help, such as those helping people suffering from a global epidemic, can develop mental illness from traumatic and downright depressing imagery. These are people whom, like physical heroes, you can walk by at any second. One day you might give a big donation or volunteer to help those in need. If you do, you're a hero. Even though I had so many great people to choose from, I settled on one hero nobody picked. Terry Fox. Who is Terry Fox? Born July 28, 1958 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, as Terrence Howard Terry Fox, Terry's baby self didn't know quite yet how eventful his life would become. Terry would become a famous Canadian hero who developed and fought against the horrors of cancer in Canada, and would have a long-standing legacy after his passing. Terry was a hero of generosity, as his main cause in life was to spread awareness for cancer and to fund into cancer research to put an end to it. He took his cause into action by running across Canada, calling this courageous and long journey the Marathon of Hope. It wasn't long until everyone across Canada was talking about it and giving donations. Some would even try to track down where Terry was, just to see the hero in action. While on his journey, Terry would stop at major cities, such as Toronto, to give speeches on problems Canada faces with cancer. He would discuss his experiences with cancer, which unfortunately forced him to get a leg amputated. Every once in a while, he would bump into a Canadian who was living with cancer and would give them words of hope. Seeing those people gave him even more determination as he wanted to fight for them and their families. What was Terry's childhood like? Born in Winnipeg and raised by mother Betty Fox and father Roland Fox, Terry was a happy baby in a happy home. He had an older brother Fred, a younger brother Daryl, and a younger sister Judith. At the age of 8, the Fox family moved to Surrey, British Columbia. As a child, Terry had an interest and love for sports. He played soccer, rugby, and baseball, although he had a lot of enthusiasm for basketball. Terry was short and wasn't a good player at basketball, unfortunately, so his PE teachers encouraged him to try out long-distance running, since it was something that he was good at. Terry wasn't interested at all, and he tried it anyways to please his teachers. This is where it all started, where his route to becoming a long-living legacy began. Terry's development of cancer. Right when all seemed so perfect, it happened. At the ripe young age of 18, Terry got into a car crash that hit his right knee hard. The pain in his knee intensified months after the accident. Little did Terry know that the hit to his knee left it vulnerable to contract diseases and other terrible sicknesses. Concerned, he went to the hospital where he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a bone cancer that starts in the knees. He was given a 50-50 chance of survival and was told that he had to get his leg amputated and go through chemotherapy treatment. The doctors told him that if he were to come to them 2 years earlier, without the recent developments in medicine, he would have only had a 15 chance of survival. This stunned Terry and really got him thinking about how important and successful cancer research can be. Terry went through the amputation procedure and got 16 months of chemotherapy, beating cancer the first time around. He got an artificial leg, and after only 3 weeks after amputation, Terry walked normally. Terry kept a positive outlook on life, but unfortunately had to witness fellow cancer patients suffer and die. He felt that he owed his life to medical advancements, and that's when he created a new purpose for himself, to live in a way to help others find courage. What was the Marathon of Hope, and how did it start? Terry wasn't happy about how little money was being funded into cancer research. This is when an idea sparked in Terry's mind to run across Canada to try and raise cancer awareness. Due to his artificial leg, he had more of a hop, step than run, but that didn't stop him. In 1979, he competed in a marathon that took place in Prince George, British Columbia, finishing last place, 10 minutes behind his closest competitor. After more painful but worth it training, Terry was ready and started his marathon by dipping his right leg in the Atlantic Ocean near St. John's, Newfoundland. This was his starting point. His goal is to get to the other side of Canada and to raise $1 million for cancer research. Terry's passing. It was a shock to Canada. On September 2nd, Terry publicly announced that after his checkup after a rapid increase in intense exhaustion and pain the day before, he found out his cancer had returned and had lethally spread into his lungs. He was forced to stop the marathon that ended up in Thunder Bay, raised $1.7 million, took place over 143 days, and ranged 5,373 kilometers. After many chemotherapy treatments, the cancer refused to slow down and worsened Terry's health. On June 19, 1981, Terry fell into a coma and eventually died at 4:35 a.m. Finally, how is Terry a hero? Terry helped majorly in the fight against cancer in Canada by successfully making everyone in Canada aware of the problem that is cancer. His courage and determination to spread awareness and end cancer was inspiring, and from his committed act, he raised over $600 million in his name for cancer research. From this, he has saved lives by getting cancer patients a more efficient chemotherapy that works. With his journey, he proved himself as a kind, devoted, brave, and giving hero. To celebrate his heroism and inspirational journey cut short, schools and cities across Canada host an annual Terry Fox Run. Terry is a great role model. He demonstrated that some of the biggest success for a cause comes from dedication to do something that will make heads turn with interest, with a cause that comes straight from the heart. He showed the world that a disability, in his case an amputated leg, can't stop you from doing something amazing, that a person with a disability can be just as strong, confident, and courageous as a person without a disability. He was a hero that made Canada come a few steps closer to ending cancer and finding a cure.